How and when did you decide to become a part of PSL?
It just didn't seem like a reasonable choice for me to keep playing it, and then I was going to have a break, but PSL then.
So when did you get to know that you've been picked by Karachi, and did you know that David Warner is a part of Karachi Kings team?
I was hoping that I was playing under Ravi because I love him.
Your favorite player from Pakistan all time?
Afridi. Yeah, Shahid Afridi.
Talking about the Karachi Kings dressing room, how is the environment?
Good fun, everyone gets along, and the local players and how they interact with each other, it feels like a very relaxed group.
So any particular young guy in our team that you really like?
Well, Hassan Ali.
How do you see the quality of cricket in PSL?
Yeah, good. It's almost an international quality bowling attack.
The question I know the answer to already, but I think people would like to know from you, who is your best friend in the Aussie dressing room?
Nathan Ellis.
But you're not bringing him to the PSL?
I'd love to. Next year.
Next year.
Yeah, next year. Karachi Kings, Nathan
Karachi Kings next year. Your most favourite cricketing memory?
2023 World Cup's favourite memory.
Did you ever support Pakistan?
I loved an underdog, so I liked watching good cricket when I was a kid.
So talking about that innings by Maxwell, that's one of my most favourite innings. When you were watching that live, what were your reactions? What was just the environment in the dressing room at that point?
Funniest dressing room I've ever been a part of that day.
What's actually the Australian mindset? Welcome to the show, Adam Zampa.
Thank you very much for having me.
Welcome to Karachi Kings. How are you finding it so far?
Yeah, good. Obviously, we've started really well, 2-0, so that always creates a really nice feeling amongst the group compared to the contrary. So, yeah, good crew. We've played 2 games. I've only been here for like 4 or 5 days, so still getting to know everyone. But I'm leaning on Davey, who I've played a lot with, and Ravi Bopara I actually played a lot with at Essex years ago. So quite close with him, so I've got some support there, but yeah, still getting to know everyone as well.
Adam, let's start with the auction. How and when did you decide to become a part of PSL? Or your agent did that?
Yeah, well, I wasn't really on the radar. I pulled out of the IPL this year. I mean, to be brutally honest, like for someone with my skill set, just don't get the money that is there for other skill sets, and for the amount of time that the IPL takes, it just didn't seem like a reasonable choice for me to keep playing it. And then I was going to have a break, but PSL then was on the radar a month ago. Really, it's all happened pretty quick, but I'm enjoying it.
You're enjoying it. So when did you get to know that you've been picked by Karachi, and did you know that David Warner is a part of Karachi Kings team?
I didn't. No, I knew that Ravi was coach though. So I'd been into him about. When you come to these franchise tournaments, you need people to lean on. So I was hoping that I was playing under Ravi because I love him, and as I said, it's nice to have that support.
Absolutely. So Adam, you've played 2 games already, and you've showed a lot of dominance here. So do you find the pitches here in Lahore particularly favourable to your bowling set?
Yeah, I've been to Pakistan maybe 4 times now, and I've played 90% of my games, well actually 100% of my games at Lahore. So I guess having that familiarity of the wicket, and then I've played enough cricket now to kind of know how I need to go about it once I've seen how a wicket plays, assessing it and going from there. But yeah, I mean, only having 2 venues to play out, used wickets, it helps spin and helps my calls.
Yeah. So talking about the game last night, it was a used wicket. It really helped you. You were the man of the match. So do you think that if we keep playing on such tracks, it's going to be good for you personally?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. Used wickets is always helpful, whether or not it's the spin or if it's just the slowness. Or even in Pakistan, it can be the fact that the wickets stay low and the ball skids as well. So it helps my style of bowling, and hopefully it stays like that.
Talking about the Karachi Kings dressing room, how is the environment there? You're very familiar with Ravi Bopara, as you told us, and Davey, of course. You've played under him, with him. So how's it like?
Yeah, it's good. Obviously, knowing those 2 as characters, both flamboyant characters, and yeah, seeing the local players and how they interact with each other, it feels like a very relaxed group.
Yeah.
Good fun. Everyone gets along, and you can see I think it helps winning the first two games, but there's a good feel, and everyone seems pretty happy.
So if you had like a chance to bring three of your Aussie mates to the team, who would they be?
Three Aussie mates to
And
bring.
why?
Three of my Aussie mates to bring here.
Is Tony's coming?
Storn's coming.
Yeah.
Josh Inglis is coming.
Okay.
Why? Why is he coming?
Hmm.
He's gun.
Okay.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
But close mate of mine,
Hmm.
and spent a lot of time with him in the subcontinent in the last few years,
Yeah.
touring and World Cups or whatever. So him. Who's my other Aussie teammate that I'd bring? Xavier Bartlett.
Mm.
Yeah.
Good choice. Why him?
I FaceTimed him before I come in to do the podcast, so he's fresh in my mind. I FaceTimed him for half an hour, so...
So he's coming in.
Yeah, he's coming.
Okay, that's cool. So this is your first time in PSL. How are you finding it so far? What's the quality of cricket like?
Yeah, I mean, obviously not having watched or played or been a part of the PCL much prior, it's been good to, I think, when you play against Pakistan, you see the depth and new guys come in a lot. It feels like that a lot with Pakistan. Guys come in and they go and new guys come in. But when you play any franchise tournament, see young kids come through and see what they can do and, potentially looking forward to seeing whether or not they'll play for their country. It's really cool. And you've noticed that so far, even like first game against Quetta, the young guy, left-hander who opened the bat, obviously really talented. It's nice to see those young guys doing well.
So any particular young guy in our team that you really like?
I don't know the ages of anyone.
Any you think is pretty good, even if he's not a youngster?
Well, Hassan Ali. I found out last night he's got the most PSL wickets of all time. Goes to show you his quality. But you can tell from the first two games. I've played against him and quite a bit. You can tell that he knows what he's doing. So he's a great asset to have in our team.
Have you looked at any other squads in the PSL? Just the squads, or do you know about the teams? Have you watched the games?
I know the Multan Sultans have about 5 or 6 Australians involved, so I know them.
Yeah.
I know the Hyderabad Kingsmen. Marnus is their captain and Dizzy's coach. I think Maxi's coming at some stage. So, honestly, not a lot. I've
been jet lagged for a very long time.
I've been jet lagged for a few days, but I have not turned on many of the games. But I know who most of the Aussies are playing for.
Adam, now that we see franchise cricket around the globe, it usually favors the batters more. We see that franchise cricket has kind of become the batter's game. Pitches where the ballers work differently and they're useful. How do you see that? And do you think that's what's happening in PSL this year?
I think naturally, we've played the front block here most games. Teams have played 1 or 2 games. Lahore is generally quite a larger ground as well, and the wickets being slower, that brings the bowlers back into the game. And then, you go to the IPL and you see what's happening over there. Teams chasing over 200 consistently. It's kind of the yin and yang, but I think there's a space where, all those kind of games coexist. Like, I love bowling in games where it's batter friendly and you you have to work out a way to be defensive and duck and dive and get you through your spell, but I also enjoy playing in conditions where it's helpful to you as well. You don't get that very often. It's I think I said last night as well, it's like part of being a universal bowler and becoming good at everywhere.
So far you've watched a few games of PSL, you've played 2 games. How do you see the quality of cricket in PSL?
Yeah, good. Lahore that we played against last night, I think you see the names in their team and the quality particularly of their bowling attack, and it's almost an international quality bowling attack. And we were chasing 129, so for them to get it so close down to the wire, I think it shows the quality of their bowling attack in particular. So there's some good teams out there.
So let's talk about Adam Zampa a little bit. Who is Adam Zampa, and something people here in Pakistan or generally don't know about you?
Adam Zampa, slightly introverted. Yeah, I like my own space a lot. Love my coffee. People probably know this about me. I love my coffee. Bring my own setup. People that might not know this, but I own a large property at home. So I live on, rather than living in a city where most of the boys live and have access to the state's facilities, I own a large property and reside there and have done for 6 years. So that's like been a bit of a passion project of mine. I go home and that's kind of my thing. It's a nice lifestyle.
That's nice. That's nice. So how do you go to practice and everything if you're living far away from the city?
Great question. When I'm not living in the city, I rely on local resources like local clubs.
Okay, that's nice.
It is nice. Yeah, it's really cool because I grew up rurally as well. I grew up in the country.
Okay, that's nice.
My local club was next door to Brett Lee's local club, and I was young and he was a hero of mine, and I saw him around town here or there actually. So he kind of made it feel reachable for a rural kid to get there. So doing that now and going to local clubs who put up wickets for me and I can bowl there, and seeing country kids go about it, seeing them happy to see me, it's really cool.
That's nice. So a question I know the answer to already, but I think people would like to know from you: who is your best friend in the Aussie dressing room?
My best friend in the Aussie dressing room is, well, I'm not going to say the obvious because then it's obvious. You've made me pick a couple of players that I'd bring to the PSL, the Karachi Kings, so I won't mention them as well. What was the question again? What am I answering?
Your best friend?
Best friend
in the Aussie
team?
Aussie team, yes.
God, it's a tough one. They're all so good.
Name one.
Nathan Ellis.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
And
another.
how many years have you known him for?
Nathan Ellis, I haven't known him for that long, really.
Yeah.
He's been playing for Australia for maybe 4 or 5 years, but we've gotten close recently.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, he's
but you're not bringing him to the PSL?
Yeah, well, I'd love to. Yeah. Next year.
Next year.
Yeah, next year. Karachi Kings, Nathan
Karachi Kings next year. So, Adam, you come second to Shane Warne when it comes to Australian legendary of leg spin.
Second?
You consider yourselves the first?
No.
But, like, you're pretty good. I mean, you're pretty damn good. So, how do you think that it's very challenging in a way that a lot of pressure comes with it?
Not necessarily. I never thought of myself as like being behind Shane Warne or whatever. He's legend Test cricket, best of all time. Absolutely changed the game for leg spinners and everyone really. Yeah. So, if I'm number 2, then 1's up here and 2's a long way down here. But I've kind of made a niche of, my dream was to play Test cricket, and it hasn't kind of been fulfilled, and it won't be. So my niche is white ball cricket. It's my style of bowling, and I feel valued by my teammates and my coaches, and I feel like I'm made to feel really important. Yeah. So there is pressure that comes with feeling like being important and having to play a role. So a little bit, but it has nothing to do with Warnie. Warnie's different. Warnie's Warnie.
Yeah. So we talked about how you like playing Test cricket. Which format do you personally enjoy the most?
Well, I've never played Test cricket, and I will never play first class cricket again. So that format's out. Yeah. That's so third.
One day and T20.
Well, are we counting the 100 as well?
Sure.
100's the best.
Okay.
Yeah. Favourite format. Followed by...
Why though?
The innings only go for about 65 minutes.
You can be back in your room earlier.
Summer in London. Yeah. Good memories of that. But I mean, going back to the other three formats, I think like people have a lot of question marks around the relevance around one-day cricket, but I think when I look back to the 2023 World Cup, best memories of my life in cricket for sure, winning that. And I think like there's an element to one-day cricket where it tests like everything still, your stamina and all of that. T20 cricket, people say it's hit and giggle. You definitely got to be skillful, but I think in terms of testing out everything for a long amount of time, one-day cricket's probably the best.
You talked about the 2023 World Cup. You guys won that, and you were the highest wicket taker of the tournament. There was this match against Afghanistan where I think Australia was 90 for 7 something, and then you guys were chasing to 90, if I'm not wrong. And was there any moment in that match where you guys thought that, okay, it's gone now?
Yes, definitely. Looking back on that match, we were in a terrible position in that game, and we didn't necessarily have to win that game. I think we were playing Bangladesh next game. If we beat them, we were in the top 4.
Top 4, yes.
But we were in such a bad position. We were talking about what we needed to get to make sure our net run rate wasn't cooked.
Yeah.
And Andrew McDonald was coach, and he come up to me because I was batting next.
Yeah.
Padded up with pad rash for a while, and his conversation was, we need to get to here. Who knows what Maxi can do here?
Yeah.
If he goes off, we never know, but it was not looking likely. So the conversation was definitely, the game looks like it's lost. Let's get to here.
So talking about that innings by Maxwell, that's one of my most favorite innings. When you were watching that live, what were your reactions, and what was the environment in the dressing room at that point?
It's the funniest dressing room I've ever been a part of that day. Like, you're kind of watching it just going, this is pretty good to watch, you know? Like we've seen Maxi do this before. He's smacks spin.
Just Maxwell's things.
Yeah, you know, like Maxi on his day out can, you know, he can be unbelievable, and we've seen him hit T20 hundreds for Australia and franchise cricket, and he was doing his thing, and we were all laughing about, you never know, there's another 6, so it's, you know, it's pretty cool. I was expecting to have to go out to bat pretty soon and whatever, and then it just kept going and going and going and going and going, and then he had his cramps and all the carry on around the cramps, and LBW decision that he thought was out that wasn't out, and I was about to walk on the field and then I had to walk back up the stairs. It was just a lot going on, but the last couple of overs when it was down to less than a run of ball and he hit a couple of 6s, it was just like...
Did you guys celebrate good that night?
No, we had bigger fish to fry. But yeah, it was
nice.
Maxi may have celebrated pretty well, I don't know.
We talk about the Australian mindset. I mean, around here in subcontinent, you always hear about the Australian mindset. They're always in the game. Even when they're not in the game, mentally they are in the game. Talk me through it. What's actually the Australian mindset?
Don't know. I've got an Australian mindset, so it's hard to explain it. I mean, I think we're a good cricket team. There's a lot of good cricket teams out there, and we've been blessed with a lot of good cricketers, and we're a good cricket team. And I think we're able to sustain pressure for a long amount of time and win tight games when we need to. I think we can probably forget about the last T20 World Cup. We can brush that one under the rug. But generally, tournaments give it a crack, and Test cricket we're a strong team. Coming
back to the 2023 World Cup, when you guys were playing India, they were unbeaten. It was the big final, but Australia played them like it was nothing. I mean, Australia plays everyone like it's nothing. So what's that like? The dressing room, the environment, the coaches, what's the message basically?
Yeah, I think like any good cricket team that's not just going out there and playing and hoping for the best, there's a lot of analytics and data and planning that goes into it, and our coaching staff nailed it that whole World Cup. India were definitely giving themselves some favourable wickets and conditions that suited them, and we kind of had to weigh up whether or not batting first or bowling first in that final was going to be the right decision, runs on the board, or hope that that night it got better. And I think it was a pretty big decision at the time, but we won the toss and bowled first, and I think they were probably expecting that with the wicket that was created that we'd probably win the toss and bat, and that's what they were hoping for.
Yeah.
But a lot of the planning and detail that went into it, we were like, we think bowling first is the right choice. Hopefully that it slows up and then get through that tough period with the new ball, which we had a lot of luck in. They had us 3 down, and Hetty had a lot of luck, but once it Dew kicked in, it looks like it got a lot easier.
So, again, coming to the World Cup, I'm sorry I'm talking so much about the World Cup, but that's one of my favorite World Cups.
I like talking about it.
Would you say that that's your most favorite cricketing memory?
2023 World Cup's definitely my favourite memory.
Your favourite memory?
Yeah, there's a lot. When you've been around this long, there's plenty. There's your debut, 2021 World Cup, great one as well. Obviously, never winning a World Cup and not really expecting to in that one. But when you beat India in front of 120,000 people and the crowd goes pretty silent, it's a good feeling, and we gave it a nudge.
Did you ever get a chance to work with Shane Warne?
I did get a chance to work with Shane Warne when I was really young. Difficult to explain, but it kind of felt like the time that he passed away was actually the time where maybe we would reconnect. I'd finally sorted myself out and was doing well in international cricket, and he was a fan. You could tell the way he spoke about me on commentary that he liked what I was doing, so it felt like it was the right time to potentially reconnect. But unfortunate that didn't happen. So I got a little bit of time with him when he was younger. When I was younger, I should say.
If you could time travel, which era would you go back to in your Australian cricket, and if there is any particular player you would have loved to play with?
Great question. If I could go back to any era, I think maybe when Alan Border was captain. I'm only saying that because my dad loved cricket and he loved watching it, and he's always said about that era and how tough AB was. So, and he actually handed me my first ever Australian Cup. So there's something there, good memory for me. So I think, probably that era. Definitely not the next era. That
really?
Nah, that annoyed me. They were too good.
Too good?
Yeah, they were too good.
Too good. You said you think that would have been very competitive then?
Yeah, I didn't really support Australia when I was a kid. Funny to say. I didn't really support anyone. I just liked good cricket. But
did you ever support Pakistan?
I loved an underdog. So I liked watching good cricket when I was a kid. For some reason, I really hated turning on the TV. It's weird in Australia. An ODI is quite nostalgic.
Okay.
Summer ODI. Being a kid and watching Australia pile on the runs, and then it would stop and you'd go to a news break, and then the cricket would turn back on after 5 overs.
Okay.
So you'd miss the first 5 overs of the second innings, and a lot of the time the opposition team would be 2 down. Yeah, the news would cut out the first 5 overs of the second innings, and a lot of the time you'd turn it back on and Australia would have the opposition 2 for 10, and the rest of the game became slightly irrelevant. So I always had something for the underdogs. I didn't really.
Who has to be your favorite player from Pakistan all time?
Favorite player from Pakistan? I used to love watching Afridi. Shahid Afridi. Not even because of the leggies. I just liked he swung bat hard. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a batter and started bowling leggies. But the way he kind of entertained, and I liked his leggies too.
He wanted to be a batter? initially.
Everyone did, didn't they? Yeah. I think everyone did until you grow too tall and you...
Yeah, it's better to become a bowler then.
Or like me and my dad said.
So your dad loved cricket. You wanted to be a batter. How did your journey start?
Yeah, I was born into it. Dad was just like a good country cricketer, like just club team, and he loved it. So I was born into it, and it's been my life ever since. Yeah.
And one favorite cricketer who, not favorite, but someone you really like watching, who's playing in PSL currently? You can say Manas if you want.
One player that I like watching in the PSL is Shaheen Afridi.
Shaheen Afridi.
Yeah.
You played him against yesterday?
Yeah, played against yesterday. He bowled well yesterday, got 4 for.
Yeah.
But feels like when he's bowling, there's always like something happening.
Yeah.
Like he knows what he's doing. He's got a knack for wickets, so it feels like it's...
Would you like to bat against Shaheen Afridi?
I've faced him, I think. I probably have.
Hmm.
I'm thinking about not getting hurt most of the time. So, but yeah, he's good. Harris Ralph again, like good friend of mine. Play with him quite a bit. So there's a lot of good cricketers. But yeah, I like watching Shaheen the most, I'd say.
So Adam, it's been a week since you're here. Almost a week since you're here, and it's a long tournament. Are you liking the management of Karachi Kings and everyone here?
Nope.
No?
The media management is terrible.
The media management, yes, definitely.
No, I am, yes. I think I mentioned it earlier about the team and the environment in the change rooms. It's relaxed, it's good fun. Everyone's super lovely, nice. So, yeah, when you spend...
You're not a person who watches social media a lot, right? The fans love you. I just want to tell you that. Karachi Kings fans are just crazy.
Are they?
They want your content all the time.
Good.
Every time they're like, where's Adam Zampa? We need to see Adam Zampa.
Maybe I'll come back next year then.
Yes, maybe you should.
Yeah, it's been good. Everyone's lovely.
Well, Adam, thank you so much for coming, for giving us your time. And we are hoping that you become the highest wicket taker of PSL this season.
Hopefully. Thanks for having me as well.
No problem.
Cheers.